Mail Karen and Property Lines. 2nd edition. I'm a senior construction superintendent in the DFW area. The project I'm currently on is a 13-acre site, smack in the middle of an extremely affluent area to the north of Dallas. 3 weeks ago, a city inspector that we'll call Joe came into the site office and said that they received a complaint about a sprinkler soaker line being damaged during excavation for the fire lane. He, my landscaper and myself went to investigate, discovered where a small fitting had blown out of the line. Landscaper repaired it. I went up to knock on the door to explain to them the issue and inform them if the repair. I got no answer at the door, so I left a card and a note asking them to call me. They never did. A week later, Joe comes in and mentions that they've reached out again about the noise from equipment, which is odd, because anyone with heavy equipment is currently working on the other end of the property. I again went to speak with them, got no answer at the door, and left a card again. Yesterday, in walks Joe to tell me that they're complaining about our construction fences on their property and killing their grass. The fence is 12 feet from their fence, and our specs call for it to be a minimum of 15 feet from the property line. So I pull up our CAD files on the survey plat, so I can make sure we have it placed exact, and realize that their wood fence is 4 feet onto our property. Their house is about 14 inches onto our property. During all of this, I get an email from the city, asking me to place the construction fence squarely on our property line. The email is sent to me, the apparent homeowner, Joe, and my project manager. I brought the surveyors back out yesterday to pinpoint our property corners and give us some 10 feet offsets. Reference points 10 feet east of the property line for line of sight to measure from. I knocked on the homeowner's door again and got no answer. Mind you, every time there were cars in the drive. Fast forward to this morning. My fence crew showed up and they began moving the fence onto the property line, which takes 2 feet, 7 inches of their driveway, and 18 feet of the road where it ends at the property was previously a cul-de-sac. The client finally reached out, or more accurately, came to the site office in a huff. I explained the issue, showed him the plat, and he left with some unkind words flowing from him, like diesel exhaust on a steep incline. I put a pause on the fence relocation, just to soothe the wound. My PM called him. I called the city right-of-way, engineer, and our client. We set up a meeting that just ended. He claimed that our plat was wrong. The engineer and everyone else disagreed. The back and forth went on long enough for the client, who is an extremely laid-back and quiet gentleman, to finally speak up and basically say, "We're just gonna go ahead and sell you the property you've stolen at current market value plus 10%. In this area, that's not cheap. If that's not acceptable, we'll just have you move your fence, cut out your driveway, and use the east side of your home for advertisement. Or, you can back off, let these guys work, and we'll give you lifetime use of the area you currently occupy, so long as there's no more hassling of any kind." The guy asked me if we'd move the fence back out, and I told him no. I agreed to take it off his driveway, but the street and green space belonged to us. We only did what he asked us to do. The engineer who asked me to move it agreed. So, there it is. The story again. The fallout. And conclusion. There's the closure I was looking for. Thanks for the 2nd edition. All fun and games until someone threatens to use the side of your house as a billboard. As a municipal engineer, I often wonder how the biggest investment people make. For most it is their home. They do the least research on and have no clue about what they bought. Now if it was a piece of tech, they could just go to online reviews, But real estate actually takes some work, so there's no time for that. The update me bot for the previous post crashed Reddit for 7 minutes. I take it that they took the last option? Your client may seem laid back and appear to have taken a loss, but that option he offered is quite insidious. Male Karen now owes your client a favor with a defined and significant monetary value. Any argument he makes in the future can then be answered with the same exact words your client said today. Man, this is great. Great response by the client too. Also, how long until he calls his previous real estate attorney and files an E&O claim? I'm the kind of person who would keep the driveway given the way he acted. I'm nice until you're not. Hoisted by his own petard. This is a gem. Always fun when jackasses realize they have no leg to stand on after all the posturing and arguing. I'm eagerly awaiting part 3, where he starts complaining about stuff again. Perfect. A beautiful ending. Thank you. An ending so sweet it gave me diabetes. That must burn. So they are simply opposed to development next to them. Typical NIMBY. Face with symbols on mouth, face with symbols on mouth, face with symbols on mouth. Thank you for the closure! Exclamation mark. You, sir, are my hero. I was waiting for this. If I was your client, I would have taken his ass to court over property theft and demanded my land back and nothing less. Reading maps is hard. Haha, Preston Hollowers are like that sometimes.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Aircast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.